Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to.
Wait. Say that again. What does that mean to deprogram? This woman is driving me crazy over here. What does that even mean to deprogram the cult members? How do you go about doing that? Do you put them in a camp? Some concentration camp? Hey guys, listen to this woman talking.
But there wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party as it is today. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for.
It's interesting. This woman is sitting here condemning people who love Trump because they see him as a positivity and as a solution to the problems in which we face in our society, in politics, in this culture. I find that to be interesting coming from her, of all people. I'm going to save my thoughts. Let's keep listening. I'm holding myself together here.
For himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to.
Wait. Say that again.
Maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but.
What in the world does that even mean? What does that mean? How do you go about deprogramming the occult members? Who's the cult? What's the cult? To love this country, to believe in the American dreams, to believe Donald Trump is a positivity, to believe that Donald Trump has the solution and the country was better under him, to still want to vote for that. Isn't that what supposed democracy is supposed to be? Well, we are in a constitutional republic, but isn't that the very fabric or the definition of democracy? Is that the people have a voice to decide for whom they love? Okay. But what does that mean to deprogram? This woman is driving me crazy over here. What does that even mean to deprogram the cult members? How do you go about doing that? Do you put them in a camp? Some concentration camp? Do you sit them in school, in classes, and you brainwash them so that they can think differently? How do you go about getting these MAGA supporters, and they're not extreme, these are real individuals with common sense who see things for what they are, and they are voting according to their perspective and understanding of what has been and what could be? They're not crazy. You can count me in. We're not crazy. But here is the other thing. Should this be coming from her, of all people? If I were to go on Google right now and show you what it's, again, this is NPR. NPR is exposing some of the, it's crazy coming from NPR. Some of the things that the Clinton has done, the scandals, allegations and outcome, the Whitewaters of 1992, the Travel Gate, and we also have the Vance Foster's death. There's a lot more, and they're not even telling you everything. They're only touching a few things. Benghazi, lives were lost, my friends. Lives were lost. Clinton Foundation. So this is just part, and I got another piece of thing here. Let me make my screen bigger for you because it gets worse. It gets worse. Watch this. There you go. I'm not sure how much of this you can see because my screen is not set up properly. But let me see if I could fix it. All right, there you go. Let's bring that here. Look at this. If you do a little bit of Google research here, it says 20 reasons not to vote for Hillary Clinton, career criminals, just a few of the scandals, lies, and criminal activities. This is a good one because they break it down for you. Short, simple, 20 different reasons. And again, that's before 2016. So the Russia Gate, election interference is not even mentioned. The propaganda concerning Obama and asking question about his birth certificate, that came from Hillary, by the way, not Donald Trump. So yeah, there are 20 different reasons, my friends. out there, documented, okay, that this woman should not even be up there talking to anybody about anything. What about the private email server? Private email server. Only if we knew what was going on in there. We don't know because it's been destroyed. It's been destroyed. It's been destroyed. She was allowed to do it and given a slap on the wrist. So this is the same woman who wants to lecture us about anything. Lord have mercy. She has a rap sheet of corruption. So this is the woman who's lecturing us now about what should be done with people whose political view is different from hers. Whoa, make that make sense.
Something needs to happen.
And how do you do that? Because you said...
A formal deprogramming of the cult members, but
Really?
something needs to happen.
And how do you do that? Because you said you have to defeat them by defeating their leader. Their leader
Right.
is Donald Trump. Even you have said that you expect him to be the Republican nominee. How does this change at all?
At this point, I think, sadly, he will still likely be the nominee, and we have to defeat him. And we have to defeat those who are the election deniers, as we did in 2020 and 2022.
Including yourself. You've also denied the election. In 2016, you said Trump stole the election from you. You advocated for a lot of lies. You told us that there was a Russian interference, and an investigation shown that this was a hoax. Money was spent. Years of doubt and concern about Trump's election. There are still people today who believe that. This rhetoric. You didn't get in trouble for it. Now, how do you go about defeating Trump? I think you guys are already trying. With all the indictments, guess what? Some of us are still going to vote for him. His popularity has only increased, man. No matter what they try to do, kryptonite, Trump he consumes all the attacks and turns out to be stronger than ever before. He does better under pressure. So what are you going to do now? What is your next plan? And it bothers me this is coming from this woman who should have been behind bars. It bothers me because when you do a research on her, you find out the level of corruption this woman is guilty of. She has no business talking. None whatsoever.
And we have to, just be smarter about how we are trying to empower the right people inside the Republican Party. Nancy Pelosi...
So that sounds like the rhinos. So the part of the reason this discussion is going on is because Kevin McCarthy has been ousted by Matt Gaetz as a Speaker of the House. And I think Jim Jordan is being considered, and there's also another discussion about Donald Trump as well. But here is the thing. Kevin McCarthy, they're upset because Kevin McCarthy's got kicked out. When you see the Dems upset about something the Republican Party is doing, you can be certain what was done was the right thing. That's something I've learned. When they mad, you did the right thing. If they are with you, the fact they were with Kevin and supported Kevin, it goes to show that Kevin was corrupt. He was compromised. He was doing things that was not good. So great job, Matt Gaetz, and all the 8 Republicans who voted to kick him out. So yeah, they are melting down.
Had a majority of 5 votes when she was Speaker. Kevin McCarthy had a majority of 5 votes. Nancy Pelosi passed consequential legislation, and she clearly had members within her caucus who, ranged across a spectrum of political beliefs and ideology, and she kept everybody together, and she kept everybody focused on the future. Mm-hmm. He couldn't do that. And so he paid a price, but more importantly, the country paid a price.
And so when you see another matchup between potentially Trump and President Biden, what goes through your mind? And particularly, how do you process that this person who defeated you back in 2016 is still at it, given all that you've said? 91 indictments, civil fraud, sexual transgressions according to the courts. How is this still happening?
It's the classic tale of an authoritarian populist who really has a grip on the emotional, psychological needs and desires of a portion of the population.
Whoa. So What she's saying, Donald Trump is manipulating the people. The people are dumb, and Donald Trump is smart, so smart that he gets to manipulate the people. This is what's going on here. Really? So you're saying these people can't think for themselves, right? Over 50% of this country, right, voted for Trump. And more are going to vote for Trump now because Biden is losing big time. There is no way he's going to win. So you're going to tell me 50% of this country who saw Trump as the solution to some of the issues in which we face, a whole bunch of people who's been manipulated psychologically and emotionally. What about people who have common sense? How about they are people who see things for what they are? Like these politicians think, some of these people think we are so dumb and stupid that we cannot think for ourselves. Even to vote for Trump means you have been manipulated. Okay, got it.
Grip on the emotional, psychological needs and desires of a portion of the population. And the base of the Republican Party, for whatever combination of reasons, and it is emotional and psychological, sees in him someone who speaks for them. And they are determined that they will continue to vote for him, attend his rallies, wear his merchandise.
Exactly. That's partly true. It's not emotional and psychological. No, it's just common sense. He does speak for the people, right? This is why. This is how we know he's a good candidate. It's not because he's perfect, he's righteous, his words are always good. It is because you guys are so adamant to shut him down, to get rid of him. It goes to show that he is a threat to your system. So if he's a threat to your system, as a result or by default, he must be good for the people. The other thing that I have in mind here is that the Democrats are the group that are making emotional decisions about everything. When it comes to abortion, the border, when it comes to CRT, when it comes to DEI, trans movement, these are all decisions rooted in emotions. It's not based on reality. It's not true. Okay. And this is why they have dire consequences. This party now, this woman is teaching us, is telling us we're a bunch of emotional, psychological people who's been manipulated by Mr. Trump. I don't think Trump is even that smart to do that to anybody. It's just that he's good at what he does when it comes to doing his job. And we see that and we support that. Simple as that. But however, we are the one who are emotionally driven. It's like, really? You guys are voting for policies that are destroying the country, but we are the one who emotionally, even though there are facts proving that some of the stuff you guys are voting for doesn't work, but we are the one who are emotionally driven and manipulated by Donald Trump. Like, you got to be kidding me.
Because for whatever reason, he and his very negative, nasty form of politics resonates with them. Maybe they don't like migrants.
The truth is that Trump simply makes sense. What he says, we've thought about. You may speak about the nature of his stone and all that. We can talk about that. We can have a character discussion here. We can have an argument about perspective all day long. Fine. What he says, he does. He tries to carry it out in the best way that he can. He is honest about it. He's not a phony politician. He is a human being with common sense, business-minded individual. That's what we love.
Maybe they don't like gay people or black people or the woman who got the promotion at work they didn't get. Whatever the reason, Make America Great Again was a bid for nostalgia, to return to a place
She is ridiculous.
where, people could...
A bid for nostalgia?
To return to a place where, people could be in charge of their lives, feel empowered, say what they want, insult whoever came in their way. And that was really attractive to a significant portion of the Republican base. So it is like a cult. And
What? Yeah, this woman needs help.
somebody has to break the, break that momentum. And that's why I believe Joe Biden will defeat him. And hopefully then that will be the end and the fever will break. And then Republicans can try to get back to, fighting about issues among themselves and electing people who are at least,
You think Biden is going to defeat Trump? You're out of your mind.
responsible and accountable.
Are you concerned that a third-party candidate on the Democratic side could thwart Joe Biden's chances?
I am always concerned about a third party. That's what happened to me, as we all can recall, and helped by a lot of other forces, and that could happen again this time. So, of course, I worry about anyone who might take votes away from President Biden, because, I'm in the camp, Christiane, that says, why do you actually hire a politician? What is it you want? And what I want is somebody who can get the job done. Mm-hmm. And Biden has done an amazing job by any measure.
You're lying. That's not what we think. That's what you think. Okay, keep going.
People have talked about infrastructure forever. He passed the bill. People have talked about losing advanced manufacturing to China. He passed the bill. People have talked about getting clean energy actually to produce even more and more jobs. He passed the bill. Negotiating for drug prices, all of these things which many of us have tried to get done in, the Senate and beyond, he's gotten done. And it's going to change Americans' lives for the better, and it's going to enhance and grow our economy. And when people say, well, I don't know, pay attention, please. Pay attention to what he's gotten accomplished. But if you don't want to be
We have been paying attention. This is why we're not voting for him.
for him on the merits the way I am, be for him because the alternative could end our democracy. And I don't say that.
That's not true. That's a boogeyman. No, whatever democracy you're speaking about is highly under attack by the Biden administration. So I don't necessarily understand the nature of what this discussion is about. How is it democratic when you're censoring speech of those who disagree with? How is it democratic you're going after the president, a former president who has a high potential of winning against Biden? You're trying to shut him down. You're losing the three-letter agencies in manipulating the law as much as you can. You're creating crimes and indict the man as often as you can. How is that democratic? You're digging for dirt as much as possible. You're trying to shut down his business. You raided his home. Huh? You claim all these crazy allegations you did to the man. You wonder why we sympathize with him? You wonder why we love him? You see, if he is such a criminal, you took a mugshot of him, he became more famous, right? Every time, I'm done with this interview because I'm not triggered or anything, but I'm just so disturbed by her words. The nature of her discussion is just that people are not part of a cult because they believe different than you do. People who wants to see the country better, in a much better condition than what Biden has done to our border, to our taxes, to our finance, to the economy, what he's done by spending so much money over in Ukraine, leaving Americans to starve. The people of Maui, $700 one-time payment, billions of dollars going over to people in Ukraine, fighting a wars that should not be any of our business, instead of calling for peace. But beside all these factors, we're going to sit here and gaslight people. The copium was out of control in this video because the facts shows the administration of Joe Biden is not effective. Doesn't matter that he's done some good things, but as a country, as a whole, for the people of this country, not effective. This is why they're going to vote for Trump. This is why I'm casting my ballot for Trump. So she could say whatever she wants. It doesn't change anything at all. Friends, I'm telling you, there are things in this world to be concerned with. And I'll tell you what, while I have this belief that Trump is a solution to the world's problem, to the United States, and I'm in no way saying he can't fix everything. That is not possible for one man to do. but he could certainly make a huge difference. It could be done. But ultimately, friends, the solution is not with men. The solution is with Jesus. With men, it is impossible, but not with God. For with God, all things are possible. This is what it comes down to, friends. It is faith in the word of God as an individual, as a people, as a country. Is when we look at ourselves through the lenses of Scripture, allowing the Scripture to reflect the true nature of our character, that we may see the beauty of Jesus Christ and surrender our hearts to Him and make decisions accordingly, live a righteous life. This is what solves all the issues in this country. I'm telling you, friends, that's where I stand. But according to knowledge and conventional wisdom, we got to vote with common sense, with the right information, push back against the corruption of this country, trying to save as much as we can. And there is no way we can stop, how could I say this? We can stop evil altogether, because evil can only be stopped by the power of God. But we ought not to lay back and watch it happen. No way, no how. I'm done talking. Link in the description below. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. What do you think about this reaction video? What do you think about this woman, Hillary Clinton? Really?